Margot pulled up to the curb outside her Uncle Luke's house, turned off the engine, and slumped back against her seat. Through the passenger side window, she gazed up at the squat 70s ranch style, and her body prickled with dread. The last time she'd spent the night here in Wakarusa, in the town where she grew up, was 20 years ago. She'd been 11. Margot's hometown was originally called Salem, but the name was changed in the 1850s to avoid confusion with the other Indiana Salem. The etymology had gotten lost to history, but conventional wisdom was that the Native American Wakarusa could be translated to knee-deep in mud. Both the old name and the new struck Margot as uncanny in their appropriateness. One evoked the killing of innocent girls. The other insinuated just how hard it was to leave. Though to Margot, the mud seemed more like quicksand. The more you fought it, the more it pulled you under. For years, she thought she'd escaped. And now here she was, back again. But more than just the town, what was making Margot's heart pound now was what version of her uncle she was going to get tonight. The real one? Or the bad one? She took a deep breath, then grabbed her bags from the back seat and made her way up the path. On her uncle's front landing was a bulb in a wire cage illuminating the space with a flickering yellow light. The sound of moths beating their bodies against it reminded Margot of childhood summers here. Long, hot days of skinned knees and calves cut up from fields of corn. She lifted a fist and knocked. After a moment, Margot heard the plunk of a deadbolt. Then the door creaked slowly, barely open. Her pasted-on smile faltered. "Uncle Luke?" Through the dark crack of the doorway, she studied the changes in her uncle since she'd seen him last. The lines on his face seemed to have deepened in the intervening months, and his dark hair was unusually mussed. One thing that hadn't changed, however, was the red bandana around his neck, the one she'd given him for Christmas 25 years ago, which he still wore often. His eyes flicked over her face. "Rebecca?" Margot swallowed. Despite sharing only superficial similarities with her uncle's late wife, short brown hair and an average build, Margot was used to Luke calling her by the other woman's name. Still, it stung every time. "I'm Margot, remember? Your niece? Adam's daughter?" This was the part that twisted in her stomach. Adam's daughter didn't convey that he, Luke, was more of a dad to her than her father had ever been. Niece didn't capture that. Besides his late wife, she was his favorite person and he hers. But it was best to start small, jog his memory, and the rest would usually follow. "Margot." Her uncle said her name as if he were trying out the syllables for the first time. "That's my name, but usually you call me Kid." Margot kept her voice bright and even. Luke blinked once, twice, and then finally, as if someone had gone in and swiped a hand across old cobwebs, his eyes cleared. "Kid!" He swung the door open and extended his arms wide. "My God, you're here! What took you so long?" Margot forced out a laugh as she rushed into his open arms, but her throat felt tight. She'd never get used to the fear that she'd finally lost him for good. "Sorry about that, kid," he said when they let go. "I've been forgetting things in my old age." He said it dismissively, as if forgetting your family was as innocuous as misplacing your keys. But there was a shadow of embarrassment darkening his eyes. She waved a hand. "It's fine." "Well, how the hell have you been? Oh, here, let me help you with those bags."